This episode is brought to you by SRB Field Rests, Buck Nasty Deer Lure, and ScentBlender. Smell the blend.
Folks, welcome to another edition of Timber Talk. I am your host, Paul, and I got Chris Highline as second co-host.
Yep. Back again.
Yeah, back again.
People miss me so much. I just had to make sure I came back for this episode.
Man, future so bright, he's got to wear shades.
Always got to wear it.
He's the man in the shades.
Oh, yeah.
The shades. Well, today's show, me and Chris was talking about this the other day. We want to talk about how politics and hunting should never go together.
They need separated.
Separated.
You
know, because I think it's causing a lot of controversy.
Well, the problem, again, with politics is politics is in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Politics has taken over our schools and education. Politics have shown up in all of our TV shows. Politics. I mean, I don't think there's not one safe place anywhere anymore where there's not politics. Because you used to say, oh, you could watch sports and there wouldn't, but that's not true anymore either. Because again, there was a long time where, you could watch a football game and it didn't matter what side of the aisle you sat on, left or right, everyone would disagree. Yeah, that's football, but that's not that way anymore.
Even in church and
especially in church,
biggest one,
especially in church.
But for hunting, I guess, you got your anti-celebrities. Okay, Let's start on these suckers first, right? The Grammy award-winning people, and I'm gonna name a couple.
Okay.
And this is kind of crazy because a lot of their movies have a lot of gun violence in it.
Absolutely do.
Right.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing: it's gonna kind of sound like we're mixing like gun control, Second Amendment in this, but it kind of goes together, but it doesn't. On this,
it's going to go to a degree because again, hunters use what to hunt with?
Right, guns. So duh.
So kind of going to be involved there.
So, anyways, we got these anti-gun celebrities like Jack Nicholson. Okay, he's one of them. We got George Clooney.
Now that was the first one that was coming to my mind was George Clooney. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's extreme when it comes to his views on gun control.
And it's all because they're uneducated. They have no idea. It just that's the whole point. They're ignorant because they have no idea about something.
Well, they don't do the proper research. They just hear their bullet point statements from different media organizations out there, and they just toe whatever they say.
Yeah,
and
they're not leaders; they're followers.
That's
whatever gets them the biz. And then Dick Van Dyke.
I didn't know about Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. Believe it or not, he's a good, caring dude, but he just
I didn't even know Jack Nicholson. Honestly, when you said that one, that kind of shocked me. I didn't think that was one of them.
Because how many movies he's been in? I mean. Batman, I think.
Oh yeah, he was a Joker in Batman. Yeah, that's true.
He's using the old gun.
Yeah.
Have you ever? What's the saying he said? Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
That's true. Well,
remember he said that.
I just always know him for his axe. He does like an axe, so maybe that's that's the thing.
Here's another big
Shining.
One. Here's a bigger one that you probably Sylvester Stallone.
No way.
I swear,
Mr. Tulsa King himself.
I mean. He is anti-gun, and he's got the Expendables. Remember that movie? You remember that movie? 1, 2, and 3.
Well, how about you just stop at you don't even say Expendables. Why don't you just say Rambo?
Rambo itself.
All the Rambos.
Seriously, he made statements about that.
Really?
He just anti-gun.
Now the one that comes to my mind that I don't know if it's on your list there.
No,
but it's Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
He is very anti-gun. Well, and what ironic about that is because he did the Kick-Ass movies. I don't know if you've seen any of those where he's a superhero and he's got guns.
Well, the thing with Jim Carrey, I think Jim Carrey just lost his mind. He's on that science thing. He's with that group in Hollywood.
Scientology and all that?
Yeah, all that stuff. He's like big on it. He's like Tom Cruise on it.
Oh, that's pretty big. That's another example, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. That guy, but there's 180 more celebrities against that.
That's a lot.
Okay. Now the pro celebrities, the activists, which the number one that comes to mind is Ted Nugent, which I'm all for Ted. I like some of his music, and when he portrays his Motor City Madman kind of thing. It's to me, I think it's all.
Did
BS.
you watch a reality show?
I did, but I think it was all. You know how these reality shows. I hate
They're
them
not reality at all.
because I hate them because what they do is they pay them more or tell them to act more. I gotta adjust this, but they pay them more.
Yeah.
To do all this crazy stuff, and it's like, nah. I think it's all
about the views and the ratings.
It's all BS.
And that's honestly, I think it comes back to our point where you're going, oh, all these celebrities are this against the anti-gun. Really, are they? They may make their claim that they are, but I don't think they really put that much thought into it.
They have security guards that are packing.
Oh, yeah.
They're like anti-military. They're packing.
And that comes to another point, again, because their lives are not affected.
Right.
By their statements.
They live in caged homes.
Yeah, they live in bubbles that they don't have to worry about that robber coming in. Of course, I bet Kim Kardashian ain't anti-gun. But she's not.
I bet you she's packing.
Well, after what happened to her, remember?
Mm-hmm.
When she got kidnapped or whatever, they broke in, they stole all her stuff and tied her up and everything.
But what did that really happen? Because that was that whole thing that they don't know if that really happened or whatever.
Well, you think it's like a Jesse Smollett thing?
I don't know.
Where is this fake?
It's one of them fake
I don't know.
things.
I don't think it was in my case, because in my personal opinion, my humble Heinlein opinion, I don't think it was fake, because the thing was, this woman used to, now she's kind of back now, but she used to be super social media where every 5 seconds she'd post something. After this happened, she disappeared for a year.
Yeah.
So freaked out. And I don't think someone that could live on social media that much would be gone for a whole year and just be like, I'm not going to post anything and just kind of disappear. Now she's back now, of course, and she's back into all of it. But I do think that actually did happen.
And maybe you're right. So back to the list. Tom Selleck, Magnum PI.
Really?
He's big on guns. Just big. And it's funny too. He also does that retirement thing with the homes thing. But no, he's big on it. Hank Williams Jr., you know that. Hank Williams Jr. is
no, I didn't know that.
He's real activist, like NRA.
Oh, I thought you meant he was anti-gun.
No,
we're on the gun side. I lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, no,
we're
that's
pro-gun.
Cool.
Okay,
it's pro-gun. The activist.
Just so we're clear, these is pro-gun ones. Because when you said Hank Williams Jr., I'm like, no,
wake up.
No,
man.
he can't
Wake
be
up.
anti-gun. Yeah, it's early in the morning.
I know, but I'm talking about the pro-activists, the ones that you hear a lot about.
Very pro-Second Amendment.
The late great Charles Heston.
Oh, he was the biggest of all. He
was the big.
For my cold dead hands.
Sure. Well, but no, but looking at that, okay, and then I'm going to go into the mild ones too. I have a list, and this is going to blow your mind too, because some of these I was like, that doesn't make any sense, So one, and these are mild. They've talked about it, but they just kind of, they're for it. They're just quiet about it.
They don't want to make a big
number
deal
one. This is obvious. Miranda Lambert.
Well,
is one of them.
Gunpowder and Lead. So it's in her song. So I would hope
She's
so.
a hottie. Yeah. And hey, Miranda,
love
back at you, baby. So and then you got her ex Blake Shelton.
Well, that's no surprise.
Those two. Brad Pitt.
I could see Brad Pitt.
Now he made a comment. And this was kind of good to think about. He said, and I quote, this is what he said: "Violence in some of my movies only reflect that mankind lives in a violent world, so that's the reason I own guns."
He ain't wrong.
He's not. But that statement, that could have shunned him. Yeah,
of course.
With all them fancies,
Well, he only said the one statement. He didn't go and hold a gun above his head and say, "For my cold dead hands."
Freedom! No, so that was him, and I was kind of shocked by that because normally Brad Pitt, he's kind of like a follower.
Yeah, he's usually the left.
He's always trying to be this hippie cool guy. Look at me, I'm a sexy son of a gun, and whatever, big. I think his career.
Well, he lost his mark with the Shania Twain thing. You saw that?
No, I didn't.
In the song Shania Twain, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Where it goes, "So you're Brad Pitt." Don't impress me much. A song. She changed it to Ryan Reynolds, so he lost his top dog spot.
Well, Ryan. We're both all messed up this morning.
It's the morning.
We need some more Java stuff. But Ryan, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. He's he's the biggest smart ass you ever seen in your life, you know?
Well, Deadpool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think Deadpool really does reflect him actually as a person too.
Yeah.
I think he's the same way you would think Deadpool, you'd see Ryan Reynolds, you'd be like, yeah, I could see that be the same.
He's like one of those guys you want to drink a beer with, just sit there and
cool
just BS and make fun of people all day, you know? Here's another one, which I'm not shocked. Johnny Depp. Now, you know, he's friends with...
He's pro-gun?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't think Johnny Depp
Believe
would be
it or
pro-gun.
not. I mean,
that one really shocks me.
I had to really dig in for that one. I was like, no way.
No.
So I'm like doing all the, you know, legit news things and all these interviews. Yeah. I mean, he believes in guns. He just don't believe in the killing each other, like gang wars and stuff.
Well, no one's going to believe in gang wars, but
he's one of those quiet ones.
Well, when you said that one, I would not have guessed that. I would have thought totally anti-gun because, well, I don't know. Maybe his trial will come up to the life a little bit.
But here's the thing: we're talking about gun control.
Yes.
In these conversations that we just had, we mentioned nothing about hunting. Not one statement about hunting, right?
Of course.
But yet when people think of hunting, they think of these super Americans. America. You know, these they call them redneck. They call us rednecks, hillbillies, whatever, that just, you know, just love guns and go out and train for the Iraqis coming over here. You know, those kind of people.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's like these activists, and I'm talking about like Ted Nugent and all them, which I respect. I think Ted Nugent is probably the most, he's very intelligent, smart as could be. Never been to college either. You believe that?
I do believe it. That's why.
Never did drugs. He said he never drank alcohol, but I seen him talk about drinking wine. So what's wine? You know, but it's wine. You know, you let it be. Anyway, so he's really smart. And
Gene Simmons, same way with that, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah, he never drank in his life.
That's right.
He never done anything like that.
Well, I don't really care about Gene Simmons because that guy's just...
You didn't like his reality show?
I'm not a Kiss fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a Kiss fan. I could take it or leave it. Let's put it that way. I could take Beth or Party All Night Long. I can handle that.
Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, well,
Detroit Rock City?
It depends on the mood I'm in.
Oh,
you know?
My gosh.
If I'm sitting there chugging a bunch of beers and I'm like, yeah, let's rock it up, you know, I'm that guy, you know. But anyways, Gene Simmons to me, he is just a selling whore. That's what he's selling.
He's good at business.
He is. I mean, he could sell anything. I thought I was a good salesman. This guy, he'll sell anything. He'll sell his kids for $1. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
But anyways, yeah, Gene Simmons never drank either. But anyways, back to the subject.
At hand.
Okay, because some people get upset.
We get this little ADD thing and we kind of veer off path, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, crazy. We're talking about gun control. Let's get back on subject."
I need more Java.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to these activists that talk about, I think they portray a wrong view. Because what they do is like Ted, like I said, I like him. I respect him. Think he's intelligent. But I think that he's mixing. He's got a hunting show, you know, and he shows hunting, which is great. And he tries to instruct people on hunting. And I think that's wonderful. But then he's holding up an AR at the same time, you know, and what he's doing, in my opinion, he's mixing it together.
Well,
does that make sense?
It does make sense, but the problem is at this point, the stereotype has been so well written, you're never going to undo it.
No.
There's nothing on this planet that's ever going to change people's mind and not relate guns and that hunter and that stereotype.
Right.
I mean, it's just set in stone. And yes, Ted Nugent was one of the ones that probably definitely helped that move along, especially in the last 10, 15 years.
He even had a crib show. Sammy Hagar came over and did it.
But the MTV Cribs thing?
No, it was a little different. Sammy's got some kind of show where he goes to like musicians' homes and kind of like that.
Kind of like the MTV Cribs.
A rip off, but it's kind of cool. Anyways,
so shows off stuff.
He goes there and like, look at me. I'm rich. At me. You'll never have this.
That's pretty much what MTV Cribs always was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There was a show before that where it was like some fancy guy with like one of those
Oh,
fancy
the
voices.
rich and the famous.
Rich and the famous.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. He's like,
that
"Oh,
big
we're
fat
gonna
guy.
go. We're gonna go into the all
The
ritzy."
extravagant
Yes.
Trump mansion, you know, and he would go
Exactly.
along and show them all the gold utensils and all that stuff.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, you said that Sammy Hagar went to Ted
Right.
Nugent's home.
So he goes to his home,
Right.
and they're talking about music, which is cool,
Mhm.
know. And then Sammy brings in, starts talking about the gun thing and the politics, and then Ted, he's like, "Well, I'm on that." And then right after that, he's showing Sammy how to shoot, bow.
Yeah.
Takes him on a ride, and this Dax is crazy, man. Then he starts telling him about, talk. You know how he gets into this weird the spirit. You got to be in the spirit, the zone, and I think it freaks people out. To a point.
It does, but if you explain it a certain way, and I always use Joe Rogan to kind of give you an example, when he explains about hunting and how you get out and you just feel what is, again, it's something you can't explain to people. And he can, Ted Nugent probably sounds really freaky as he tries to explain it.
Newcomers. That's what I'm
Especially
saying. Not to people that knew him and grew up with
because people don't understand, especially people that have been in the city their whole life,
Mhm.
that is a different whole experience when you are in nature alone.
Well, people have this petting zoo / Disney World
Right.
mindset that every animal is just so tamed and so gentle and soft and fluffy. Fluffy, like my daughter said, fluffy.
It's
That's
fluffy.
that's what they portray
Yeah.
what an animal is. But in real life, grizzly, you're not going to go up and, you know what I'm saying, hug them.
No.
Tap them on the ass.
No, you don't want to do any of those things. People don't understand how dangerous nature can be.
Oh,
either.
yeah. It's not a petting zoo.
No, they don't think about these things. I mean, even with deer, people don't even think deer can kill people. And deer can, by the way, kill you.
They can. I've seen idiots, dump deer pee all over them during the rut. Look, guys, keep the deer pee on something else other than you. The latest guy, that one deer went crazy. Did you see that video? I wish we could pop that up because that was.
You'll have to show me that one. I'll throw it up for the YouTube viewers.
It was insane. The deer literally chased him to the truck and like knocked him over. It was insane.
I saw a video not too long ago of this lady that was like getting gored by this buck, right outside her house.
Yeah, right outside her.
Yeah,
garage.
she was like right out there, and he was just bam, and they're trying to stop.
I know because the buck was in rut. You know how they get. They get crazy. So, anyways, like. Back to what I was saying on that. How has politics affected not just in the 50 states, but outside the world?
Well, here's the prime
think
example.
about a moment that happened. Tell me where politics kind of screwed a lot of things up in hunting.
I'm going to start just recently, which I think is the biggest, especially around the world. You cannot purchase, you cannot own, you cannot handle a gun now in Canada.
Really?
You can't have a handgun. You can't buy a handgun. They just did it away with it. You can't have a gun in Canada anymore.
You can't have a gun, but they hunt.
Are
you serious about this?
I'm serious. It just can't, like that prime minister, whatever his name, I can't.
That goof.
The goof.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture up for the YouTube viewers. You'll know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I just saw it. Like he just said, "Oh, they're not going to be. There's no guns.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. They're done. That's it."
Oh, man.
They went the way of England,
mm-hmm.
and that's the same thing. You can't have a gun in England. Not one gun.
That's why I love America, because we have the right to bear arms, so they can't really do it.
No,
and that's the other thing. Can they really? Let's be honest. Let's think of this. Can they really take all our guns? I mean, let's just be. I don't look on this show. We don't talk about politics as far as red, blue,
right. The question is, can the United States government take people's guns?
Can they take their gun? Really? I mean, can they seriously do that?
The only way that they could possibly do that, which again, and when you say take their guns, let's specify. Do you mean we'll be able to limit guns, or do you mean they'll be able to take everybody's gun?
Just take your gun. Just take it all.
The only way they could do that is they would have to amend the Constitution. And the only way to do that is you have to have all of the House and the Senate and the presidency And again, it's not just like I think you have the overwhelming majority to
Right.
pass it. Because the last time they amended the Constitution, I believe, was during the Civil Rights Act and banning what was it, Jim Crow and the Jim Crow
Yeah.
laws,
Yeah.
and won a federal mandate that way.
Right.
Which again took an overwhelming, what by the way, people don't probably know, is Republican support to actually pass it, even though it was a Democratic president.
Yeah.
It was the overwhelming Republicans that got it through, but no one ever seems to remember that.
When I talk about the red, the blue, whatever, I don't trust anyone on both sides. I
don't.
I really,
Nope.
and I'm being honest. I mean, I have my beliefs,
yeah.
religious, all that stuff. You do too.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that. I just don't. I just don't trust politicians. I mean, honestly, whatever they do, whatever threat they do, is 9 times out of 10 BS. Right?
Yep.
They're just trying to scare you, and then the news takes it and they start running. I believe, and this is just what I believe. I believe that, back to the gun thing, they can't take your guns. I don't believe, unless we're going back into Germany, like the Nazi day.
The only way they could do it is they'd have to amend the Constitution, which would be extremely, extremely hard because, again, you would have to have super overwhelming majority in House and Senate and the presidency, and people not give up to political pressure.
But you got to have some kind of control. You got to have some kind of control. We all got to just understand we got to have some kind of gun control. You can't have a guy going out there with a 50 cal and just shooting in a neighborhood, right?
You mean you don't want someone to be able to own a tank?
No. I mean, tanks, to me, I'm like, it would be cool.
How very gun control of you, Paul.
But
maybe a guy wants to own a tank.
I'm not trying to be anti-gun here when I say that, but there's got to be some kind of control, right? Like, you can't.
Here's the thing with this. They already have laws in place. It's not like you can just go in and just get a gun super easy.
Brady Bill.
And this has been proven time and time again, even by the extremists that really hate, super anti-gun.
Yeah.
They've went in, which I thought was hilarious when it happened to them. They went in and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to try to just go to Walmart and buy a gun." Well, the guy went in and he couldn't get one. Ultimately, his background check failed.
Right. Yeah. I want one bullet and one gun.
So he didn't get the gun. But the thing is, this always comes down to, you can ban anything in the world, but there's always going to be a black market, and there's always going to be people who try to do it. Because guess what? Drugs are banned. Are there still drugs? Is there still methamphetamine in the United States?
Oh, yeah.
Even cocaine, weed. Well, weed's kind of semi-legal, but you get my point. All of these things that are banned by the federal government yet still exist. And you can even go way back when. Remember, the United States banned alcohol. Did that stop people from drinking alcohol? No. Did that stop people from making their own alcohol?
That's how NASCAR came about.
And now we live in a world, which I don't know if people understand this, is where we have 3D printing now. Where there is a gentleman who I'd say a year or maybe 2 years ago, did a 3D print of a gun.
Yeah.
And tested it out and everything. Now, it wasn't like a super awesome gun, but the concept did work. So if you tell me that they go and put a ban on guns that everyone's just not going to have one, it's not going to happen.
But what I mean is, there's got to be some kind of control as far as, now telling somebody how much ammo they need in a clip and all that stuff. I think that's a little extreme, but AK-47, seriously, I mean, here's the difference that people don't understand.
When people think AR-15 and AK-47 are the same thing. That's what they think. If you would tell someone on that anti-gun side, they would think those are the same gun, and that's in their mind. That's what they see.
Here's the thing: they see a clip, right, and they think it's just right out, right. So here's the difference for some of you newers: a semi-automatic, has a clip. Now you could shoot. Every time you pull the trigger, a bullet shoots out. It's gas operated, right?
Right.
Fully automatic shoots out multiple bullets at once. 9 times out of 10, and this is unless you can take it somewhere, an AR is a semi-automatic, not full. All right. AK-47 is a full. That sucker sprays bullets like you don't even know. The first shot you might be lucky, and the rest is everywhere. As far as that, getting into what I'm saying is that there should be some kind of control on that, like Uzis, stuff. I mean, they're fun to play with, but
they already have measures for half of these.
Yes,
weapons.
Exactly.
Like I said,
but I don't know, some people just get the wrong impression. They don't understand, and that's going back to the beginning. They don't understand something, so then they're against it.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the research and figuring, and a lot of people just don't want to take the time to do that. They're not like us. Like they want to figure out different thing. Yeah. But back to what I was saying, how did politics get in? I want to bring up this, and I think you brought this up not too long ago. Do you remember that lion? It was Cecil the lion in Africa. You remember that hunt?
Oh, I believe I remember we referenced something.
You were talking about that. Mm-hmm. How there was a lion shot and killed on a hunting reservation or wherever in Africa.
Right.
Africa's huge, and somehow it caught social media. Mm-hmm. And then there was a giraffe and something else with that too. And then what happened? Who was it? Who was that president? I just can't think of that name.
Obama.
Was it Obama?
It was President Obama, yeah.
Obama, right? So what did he do? You were telling me about this, I thought it was interesting.
It passed a law, I believe. I don't remember the actual name of the law. We may have to research that. But basically, in a nutshell, it made it where that Americans cannot take their trophies from out of country to their home country.
Right.
So if you go kill Cecil the lion or a giraffe or anything like that, you don't get to bring it.
You just leave it.
You leave it there. I mean, I guess you just let it sit there and you don't get to take it home with you. I also believe they even did that with marlin in Florida because I heard a story of that where guys spent like
marlin.
Yeah, a guy told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I spent like 15 grand on this boat and went out there and I got this." He had this huge marlin. He showed a picture of it. He's like, but he couldn't. They wouldn't let him take it.
Folks, if you got any comments on that, let us know. I want to hear more about that.
Do research on that.
But like on Africa, and this is my understanding, with that bill, did it not destroy Africa's control on animals? I mean, what was that?
Here's the thing. This is what,
because you said that
there's always consequences to actions, and this is what they do. Again, they will go ahead and pass a law, and it sounds great on paper, but they don't realize Americans like to spend money. Okay,
yeah,
Americans like to spend money, and that's where do you think the money goes? Now, normally, what happens is, an American may spend almost $50,000 on one of these crazy hunts.
Oh, at least 75.
We'll say 75 to be fair. So we'll see that. But where does that money go? Well, do you know that there was a big issue, which again, I believe that they've been working on this, was ivory in the elephants, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they were killing lots of elephants. Poachers were. And poachers still exist here, folks.
Oh, absolutely.
They're still out there. But the thing was, they would use the money from these one hunts where they might be losing one lion, right? Mm-hmm. And they use that money to protect the other animals so poachers can't get. They literally hire people. They'll have gun battles with these damn poachers out there.
Well, didn't you say
they will literally
that
fight poachers with weapons to keep the animals safe in their sanctuary.
So didn't you say like the poachers were actually guides at one time?
Oh, yeah.
They just came over and said, well, if we're going to get paid, because
of course.
What was that hunting doing for them?
They're going to feed their family.
That hunting was providing homes, a job, food, all this stuff. So they didn't have to poach anymore.
Exactly.
But then when that bill passed, they just...
Well, you killed all tourism. It was
done. So then poaching came back. And I'm one of these guys, like they do these super slam hunting, right? Here's super slam.
Yeah, what's super slam?
So super slam is that you got 29 same species. Well, there's different, it's the same animal. Like there's deer, there's whitetail, there's mule deer, and so on and so on. So you got to shoot each one of these in fair chase. And once you gather up deer, turkey, it's all different ones. Like it could be for elk, it could be for a mountain goat or something like that. And you gather all these up, and it's like a trophy hunt, and then you get a plaque. Okay, saying like you killed every single one of them. Congratulations. But to me, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that at all.
Because to me, that seems like greed.
That seems a little extreme.
But they do it. There's a lot of hunters out there that sign up for this. Roger Ragland, he does that. And he has like nothing but bucks on the wall. But over the years, he's filmed and hunt for years, and I respect him. I think he's a great hunter and he's a good dude. But the super slam thing to me is like greed. And it's like we talked about Africa. Me personally, It's not my thing to go and shoot an elephant. I wouldn't get kicks off that. I wouldn't get kicks out of shooting a giraffe, but a lion, water buffalo, yeah, I'd like to shoot one of them suckers.
So wait a minute. Now hold on here.
I'm just saying.
No. Now we're going to dig into this real quick.
I'm not going against it.
Why are what explain your logic where a lion's okay, but an elephant is not.
Well, because everybody has their own flavor of hunting.
Because if you're going to say, because a lion can kill me,
no,
elephant can pound you into the ground.
No, I'm just saying it's just not my flavor. It's like some people like whitetail hunting. Like, for instance, some like whitetail hunting. Some prefer turkey hunting more, right? Me, I would prefer shooting a lion or a water buffalo than shooting an elephant or a giraffe. And that's just my flavor. I have nothing against people that do it. I just feel it's not my thing. I wouldn't get that satisfaction of like, yeah, I killed First off, I couldn't mount the head in my house anyway, so what's the point? It would.
Well, you couldn't do it with a lion either, though. Or any of this.
Oh, yeah, I'd find room. I'd cut down walls.
Well, we just talked about there's a law that doesn't let us.
I know.
We just had. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think we kind of got our point across where people, celebrities and narrative kind of push this stuff together, and it just kind of makes it difficult for people to understand that hunting and gun control, they do have some mix, but they aren't as extreme as people would like to think.
The thing is, it's hurting us. I feel it's hurting us as trying to bring the new age into hunting, because what they're seeing, and their parents are seeing, and their hippie grandmas and grandpas are seeing, is that, gun control, it's all about the gun, about hunting.
You can thank Columbine for that. Because really the only reason why this narrative has gotten pushed so hard in that direction of anti-gun is because of school shootings. But again, really, when you get into that, which I'm not going to dive.
I think that's a psychological thing.
Well, I'm not going to dive.
That might be another subject at another time.
But
as far as what they're doing,
institution issues,
it's kind of like they got to separate themselves. You know what I mean? In my opinion, celebrities or activists like the NRA. I don't follow the NRA anymore. I'll be honest with you.
The NRA, I don't even think exists.
They don't really anymore with all this bankruptcy and stuff. But at the time, I stood by them. And then I started watching how they were acting and all this extreme stuff, and they're getting these lawsuits. And I'm sitting there like, maybe it's too much, guys. Maybe you need to back off, because, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? And it's like, sometimes they just need to back off. You got to think about what you're doing. Not for the whole thing about hunting. You got to keep the politics out of the crap. You have to. Most deer hunters, and back to the caliber about the, ARs and all this wonderful crap. Thing is, most hunters, average hunters, except for these douchebags, I call them, use regular bolt action, single shot, lever action guns, right? Not, some of them might have semi-automatics. But the point is, they're not out there using these fully auto AR, or not ARs, but the I said it before. I can't think of it.
AK?
The AK. They're not out there doing that. So they need to separate that stuff. You need to chill out and just say, hey, hunting also, one point before we roll, hunting, you could kill an animal with a bow. Okay? They're spearing them. If you see
they're going to have to do in Canada now.
They're spearing them. I don't see that happening in Canada.
It already did.
I'm
telling you, it already did.
Come on. It might. I don't know. But is that what about outside hunters that come in? Because Canada has a huge thing where I can't think of where that was. But, big hunting tour guide stuff over there. I don't see that happening. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys have a comment on that.
Comment. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah, let Chris know. Slap him. If I'm wrong, slap me. It don't matter. But, I think we need to keep the politics out. And I think
Agreed.
Some of you activists, whether you listen to me, whether you don't or you agree, let's keep this politics out of hunting, and let's focus. Let's separate them. Let's keep them divided and say, okay, you know, the right to carry is different from hunting. And that's the basic line, right? That's the whole show. These are our opinions.
Yes.
Folks, you know, you can leave a comment if you want to hear more about this, or maybe you just have an opinion yourself and you want us. We love opinions, good, bad, and the ugly. We don't care.
Nope.
But that's all the time we got for today, unfortunately. Check us out on YouTube. Check out Timberbucks Production. Hey, like us. Follow us on Facebook if you can. Check us out on Instagram. And check us out wherever this podcast is broadcast. And we do appreciate you.
Yep.
I'm Paul.
I'm Chris.
God bless you. We'll talk to you again.
Next.